On and
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Raven's Nest. And we have a whole crew in here tonight. So we have I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves in a second, but we are streaming on 4 channels. So you can pick your channel. It could be like a pub crawl, isn't that what they call it? Where you kind of jump from place to place. You can stay in one place. But I will say, if you decide to put up more than one channel when we did the test, mute all but one, or you will hear an echo, but it is not our fault. So I'm K-Pro, Christy. I'm the Raven's Nest, so I'm hosting tonight. We have kind of a fun announcement. The treasure chest has not been found. Let me repeat. The treasure chest has not been found. I announced last week and on Thor, it is a fun announcement. I don't know if I consider that fun and that it was not the treasure chest. So at this point, I just want to go around the room and introduce yourself and where they can find you, because if you want to be in whichever room you want to be in, you certainly can. So let's see, I don't know. No, I'm different on the channel. So let's see, over to my right, which is Sean.
Good evening, everyone. Sean Martinez. You can find me at Figuring Out Forrest on YouTube, or at Gmail, or Figuring Out Forrest Fenn on Facebook. I'm a retired homicide detective on the hunt for the treasure chest.
very nice.
Okay, over to Mike.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mike, Cow Lasers on YouTube. And if you see me looking back and forth like a tennis match, because I got both channels up, I want to see how this works. So you guys could also find me on Facebook under Cow Lasers Grand Adventure. There's a couple, I hope, fun things are coming up that I'll be posting in there.
Okay, and then over to Toby from A Gypsy's Kiss.
Hi, my name is Toby Eunice. I have a Gypsy's Kiss. My partner and I have a Gypsy's Kiss on YouTube. We also have a Facebook page, a Gypsy's Kiss, and we also have a blog at gypsyskiss.com. And I do want to say to K-Pro that not finding the treasure is actually a fun announcement. So a couple of other things. We are live streaming, as K-Pro said, to 4 different channels. Make sure if you decide to be on all 4, you can actually comment on all 4. Make sure you turn the audio off on 3 of them and just go with one of them. And the reason is it's slightly out of sync for each one, just a second for each direction. And then finally, we're trying to pay attention to 4 chat rooms right now. So as K-Pro talks about her new project, her new fun project, if you have a question, please feel free to send a text message to 1-800-947-1043, and it's right above me here. 1-800-947-1043, and I'll make sure that the question gets asked, because that'll pop up right in front of me. Okay? Thank you, K-Pro. Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah. Yes, and so you'll see that there's a Raven's Nest in there. That's Mike. He controls everything for me, but I will be in the chats under K-Pro. So I'm only in mine because there's no way I'm jumping around with all that we have to talk about tonight. So a couple things just logistically. We have a challenge right now for 150 in the chat, and then we are giving away one of these coins. We have decided we're going to take the top number in each of our chat rooms tonight between the 4. We will add those together. If it hits 150 and you've made at least one comment, maybe your WWWH, maybe who's your favorite tuber between the 4. I mean, I'm going to leave it up to you, but you will be in a drawing for next week for a search coin, one of these copper plated search coins that everybody knows and loves. I have a couple different numbers. I'll let you choose from the numbers. So if you want to go around, thanks Jimmy Fast, I'll drink in a second. If you want to go around and see all the chat rooms, you can, but make sure to comment, because that's the only way. Mike is going to have to take 100 at least and write them all out, and we're going to have to pick them out. So we want to make them work for it. So make sure to chat. You don't have to chat a lot. Just say hi, say something, you know, say Thor. I mean, that's usually what people like to say. So that is our challenge tonight. So it's the top number, and Toby and Mike and Sean probably know how to do that. The top number from the analytics tonight. So you guys can all rush over to each room all at once, do like a rave kind of thing or whatever they call that. So anyway, that's our first one. The other, so there's really 3 announcements, 2 are smaller. The other one is some had asked me earlier on, like I think it was in Oh, the after party this week, if I'm dating, and if you've noticed, Decoy is gone. Decoy has left me. I'm pretty upset about it. I think he's boots on the ground, at least I hope. I have a feeling, though, he might surface other places. So if he does, tell him I miss him. But Decoy's gone, and he didn't even leave a note. It's kind of sad. Okay, so
maybe he's looking for Leroy, possibly.
He could, him and Leroy, they could be, out again. I think they're boots on the ground. It's
the perfect search team.
Exactly. So, but I miss you, Decoy. Thank you for being here for so long. So, okay, so let's get to today's announcement. If you saw the earlier teaser, I'm not going to take some. There's a couple people said don't touch the search coins, which I think is interesting. So I won't touch, but I'll say. So we've had this one.
Wait. I have something for you.
Okay.
Oh.
Nice. Okay. So if we look what we have here, boom, boom. Okay. So this is, again, a fun one. This is, I approached Forrest and said, these coins are so popular and they're going for so much on eBay. I'm so disappointed. What do we do to get these coins going again? And I'll say we had lots of back and forth. He had some concerns, talked to him for a while. I talked to Mike. Mike's been leading the coin projects. And so I said, how do we get another set of coins into the searcher's hands? And I will say the spark of this idea and a long discussion that happened was with our own Toby Unit. And I loved what he did. If you didn't know, he put a coin inside of a skull and put it at his location and put out a picture.
Great
and then
idea.
magically at the Jamie Jordan drawing at the very, very end, the guy puts up the skull. Toby, you could probably tell it better. I just remember Toby's face just going, that's him! Oh,
Found it.
Over. So Toby, go ahead, tell that story.
We were actually wrapping up the program. We had finished with the drawing, and I was trying to wrap up the program. I had talked to you and to Mike and to Cynthia and to Jamie, and I thought, okay, it was time. And this gentleman had been trying to get my attention all day, and I wasn't brushing him off. I was just going I didn't know who he was. I didn't recognize him. And I'd said, just give me a second. Let me get through this, and then we can talk. And we were getting to the end, and he stood by the table there, and he's a big guy. I mean, he's a good-sized guy, and he just held up the skull, and it just caught me by total surprise. And I realized he had it, so I brought him in. His name is Jack Selvage, and his wife is Johanna, and he had found it, and he told me the story. I mean, we didn't put it in a place that was easy to find. You had to go to the place up in the Rio de los Pinos that were looking for a treasure. It's actually an iffy four-wheel drive track that you have to go down. Then you have to hike for 20 minutes to get even close to it. But he figured out the clues. He noticed the blue spruce tree. He noticed the comment about the where warm waters halt, the Colorado-New Mexico border. The Colorado-New Mexico border went right through that blue spruce tree where it was hidden, and he picked up on all, we didn't say any of that, he picked up on all the clues, went back twice, didn't find it the first time, and went back a second time, and got caught in the rain the second time, and they were actually worried about getting out of the valley. So he found it, and it was such great fun. That was actually the last of the, I think, 20 searcher coins that I had purchased from Mike. So it was just so much fun that I really wanted to do it again. And so when I told Christy the story, she picked up on that and went back to Forrest, and they concocted this great project. So I'm glad we're just happy to be part of it.
Yeah, so that's actually where I kind of went silent on Toby because I didn't want to get too carried away, and that's when I started colluding with Mike. And it's like, Mike, help me. What did you know before? What worked? What didn't? Talking with Forrest, I mean, there was just, and Cynthia, I will tell you, Cynthia is a part of this gang of people here that she's been involved. So at this point, let me tell you what's happening. So I will tell you, it's the same coin on the front, but you will see on the back we changed something. So I don't know if it's forwards or backwards. It's backwards
2019.
On my screen.
It's forwards. Yeah.
And then there's a magical number. So that one is number 50. This one is number 1. And then we have every number.
Yeah, we can see it.
So
yes.
The idea is
I have
going.
mine right here.
Ooh,
Nice.
But you have one of these. These are special.
Wouldn't it be
Oh,
nice to
I
go to the one
know.
that matches that one, Sean?
Yeah.
Absolutely, it would.
Hold them up to side one another so you can see the difference in plating.
You can.
Yeah, so there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's plating. This is silver plated. Somebody asked if it's 0.999 like that bar. No, that bar is gone. This is the same ones. And you can see the only difference in the back is rather than 2010 to 2018, it's 2019. It's the same poem that we all know and love and can recite by hand, and then the numbers at the bottom. So here's what we're going to do. We're announcing this kind of early because I still want some of your advice out there. So Cynthia, the boots on the ground goddess of the world, and Toby and Shelly, which I'll talk about in a second, that we're going to make some road trips. And everybody already knows about my road trip plan. We are going to hide these throughout the Rockies. We're going to hide them kind of all throughout the states. I think we're going to probably pick some popular spots that we know some searchers are at. I don't know if it's going to be, the one thing we don't know yet is are they going to be hidden in a skull, or the skull was so cool, but what can we get them hidden in? And then each week, once the season starts, which will be, late spring, we as a YouTube community, like me on Mondays, and you'll hear this great song later about the Monday night powwow, are going to put out, I'm just hypothetically speaking here, we're working out all the details, but a picture of it, a picture of the location and the general region or the search state. And then Toby and Shelly on Tuesday do something, and then Mike does something on Wednesday, and by the end of the week, we want this baby found. So that's the idea. So when you go boots on the ground, and I love Courtney's walk of shame, you're doing the walk of shame, at least you're walking back with the search coin that will make you happy. So I'm thinking maybe 10 in each state, with a couple stragglers. I don't know yet though, maybe there'll be less in Colorado because it's not in the book as much. I don't know. We need your idea.
Don't even start with that.
We're going to have some fun. So when we're going to talk about later the off season and what we're going to do, we're going to do things like this. There's a couple of projects that we have planned, and this is one of them. When I teased this earlier today, I've already gotten an offer for coin one at many thousands of dollars. And my typical response when I get asked for these is no. I don't care how many zeros you put behind it. I will say somebody is, wow, they're already in the 5 figures. No. Here's the deal. I have said to Forrest, no one is going to make a profit off of this to start. I bought these out of my pocket. I worked with Mike and his supplier, and these are out of my pocket. There is no profit to be made. I will not sell one of them. I will tell you, and Mike, did you send Forrest?
Yeah, Forrest has the link.
Okay, so hi, Forrest. He is not aware. One of the things that I will tell you is he was very generous for the Jamie drawing, and he gave up Search Coin 1. I'm going to see you in 3 weeks, Forrest. I have Search Coin 1 silver for you. That is not profit. You are not ever allowed to profit from it, just like I'm not allowed to profit from it. So number 1 is coming to you. Number 2 is going to be a surprise for our next announcement, which will probably be in December. But Search Coin 3 is going to go to Rick McDonald, who designed this coin. So we thought it would be great. That's the same thing that Mike did when Mike did the original. So Search Coin 1 and Search Coin 3 and Search Coin 2 all have dibs. Every other coin is up for grabs. So especially there was somebody that had a particular coin under 10 that was like, I need that coin. Great. Get your boots on the ground and you can go and find it. Now, if you find one of these, though, there's no rule. If you decide that you want to keep it, fabulous. If you decide you want to sell it, fabulous. If you decide whatever you decide, it's yours. You have title to the silver. So it's up to you what you want to do. So those are what we've done so far. Take the money. No.
There are some questions whenever you're ready.
Okay, we have lots of questions, so fire away.
So first, to be perfectly clear, nobody can buy these coins. Is that right?
No one can buy. I don't care how much money you have. Well, no, I'm kidding. No, that is the deal I made for us. That was the way he approved this. This is not going to the highest bidder on eBay from me. Now, if it gets out into boots on the ground, you find number 4. Hey, you're going to probably do really well if you want to sell it on eBay, but it's up to you. But these, I have 50 of them. They will not be sold by me. That is my commitment to Forrest. He said after the Jamie drawing, he saw that I stayed true to the commitments I made, and he approved this. So absolutely not. No, never, not happening, ever, never, never.
how many coins are going to be hidden? People already know how many coins there are and how many are going to be hidden.
47.
So the sequence numbers are 1 through 50, correct?
Correct.
1, 2, 3 are taken. So 4 through 50 will be hidden at some point. That will be released later, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
By Toby, Eunice, Shelley, and Cynthia.
So just real quickly, how many coins? I'm sorry, Mike. Have you? Do you have more questions? Go ahead and you ask your questions.
The other thing is you have to go boots on the ground. This is not an armchair treasure hunt. You have to go find it. If you find it, you can keep it, much like Forrest treasure chest.
Like
correct?
we did with our coin.
Right.
Yeah, but if you want to negotiate with somebody, like if I see one, or I'm not going to be eligible, but if I was a random searcher and I see one right where I know Sean might be that weekend, hey, Sean, can you pick this one up for me? And I'll split whatever on email. Or Cynthia, help me out. Not Cynthia, because she's split. But you know what I mean? It's going to be, but you cannot do an armchair. If you give me the solution, or you give Toby or Mike or whoever.
Right. What if somebody guesses exactly where it is? It still doesn't count. They have to go get it.
Exactly.
Race for it.
Yeah.
The only way that you get to it is by picking it up yourself.
Yes.
And they're only going to be hidden in the 4 search states?
Yes. Well, they're going to be hidden in the Rockies.
So Idaho and Utah are included in that? Well, actually, everybody.
Nevada's out, Mike.
Yeah, I could easily hide one in Las Vegas. So people are interested already in what are the clues? Or how is that going to work? How do they know where it is? We will get to that at a later time, I think. Right?
Yeah. So here's where I want to hear from the community. I'll probably start a Thor thread. And if you want to email me, I have some ideas. I know Toby has some ideas. I'm sure all of you have some ideas. I was envisioning like a search state and then the region, and by the end of the maybe a park or whatever. I don't know yet. This is why we're announcing it so early. I mean, this isn't something that's happening tomorrow. We have the whole search season. How are we going to select the 50? Or 47? Let's have some fun with this. Let's see. Let's make it a rivalry. Who can collect the most? I don't know. So that's something that we're going to work out. So we wanted to get you all involved. It is amazing how many great ideas you all have, except finding that treasure box. I mean, everything else is, this could be cool. Maybe you have to have a video of you finding it and you submit that, or maybe it's all about you and all the people that find this do a once a week thing there. I don't know. Those are the things we don't know. We wanted to once I got these in my hot little hands, I'm not able to keep my mouth shut. So I want to give huge credit. There is a man, I don't know if he's in there right now, ES, who is a moderator over on AGK.
Eric Schmidt.
So the man that I was working with at the coin distributor, his name is Eric. And I've talked with Eric, many times on email. And I accidentally emailed ES about a month ago with all the details of this, trying to finalize it. And he emailed me back accidentally. And he emailed me back and said, "This is so cool. Where can I get one?" And I said, "Please, can you keep a secret? I'm so sorry." And he has shown Forrest Fenn is wrong. He can keep a secret. Now, he did email me and said, "Okay, I'm ready now. I kept your secret. Where's my coin?" No, you still have to find them, and you can get priority, as in you go boots on the ground. But I wanted to give thanks to ES. He could have totally spilled the beans. He had he had the entire string, Mike. I didn't tell you at the time, the entire string he had.
Nice.
And so I know, I'm so sorry. So yeah, when I screw up, I screw up big. So thank you, ES, whichever room you're in. Thank you. So what other questions do we have?
I want to get a couple. Mike, did you have some more?
No, go ahead, Toby.
So they were more clarifying comments than they are questions. Let me get back to them real quick. Let's see. Where I got to go back to it. Gosh, it's going to take me too long.
Okay.
Let me address.
I see a couple if you want me to.
Go ahead.
Okay. When will they be hidden? Sometime before it is safe to get out to the search state.
Spring of 2018.
I'm really thinking late spring is when it's going to happen.
Our plan. How many of the coins are you going to give a Gypsy's Kiss?
We need to talk about that. I think divide them up and depend on who's where and all that. The Gypsy's Kiss is looking to do a little road trip.
So our plan with whatever number of coins we get is to take next spring, as soon as the snow clears from the mountains. Shelley and Kevin and I are going to take a at least a week-long, maybe longer trip through Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, and we're going to take an eastern route first, and then we're going to come back on a western route, and we're going to hide them in each of the treasure states. And for whatever, I'll divide them as equally as I can. But every state will get some. Every one of the 4 states will get some, and we'll update you every day. We'll either do a live stream or record a video about, generally speaking, where we are, and then we'll collect all the clues then. And then as the process gets started, we'll have done kind of what we did before. We'll take a picture, we'll give you a hint, and then it's up to you to find this new treasure. And someone said it wasn't in the spirit of the chase. We think very much that it is in the spirit of the chase, because it gives searchers like Christy said, it gives you an additional reason to be out there. And even if you don't find the treasure, you have something else that you can look for that isn't quite, where the clues aren't quite as cryptic. We, over the past year and a half, have hidden, 6 treasures. And they were all discovered. One of them by a family in Texas, and it was purely accidental. So they're hidden pretty well, but not so you can't find them. And so it's kind of neat to know that they're in there. There are hints and that you can work with, and it's a chance to find something else, as Christy said, in addition to the treasure if you don't. So.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. So I think the first set of coins became so collectible so quick. I think the idea was to get those out and leave them. But since they became so limited, nobody wants to leave them. I mean, a few searchers do, but that wasn't the majority. I think the thought initially, and Mike, you can talk to this, was everybody was just there was going to be enough of these. They were going to be just out everywhere. But then it got cut off, so it didn't get there. Well, these boots on the ground, I mean, this is what Forrest wants. Let's get out there. And now some people, they might not want to go boots on the ground for their solve location. They may see this and go, oh, I know right where that is. I'm heading out right now. So I think it gets to boots on the ground. But again, I know that not everybody is going to love every idea. You don't have to be a part of it. Just ignore it. If the coin thing to you isn't like, oh, it's a coin, it's not a treasure chest. Great, go find the treasure chest. That's worked out really well for 8 years. So this is something to help distract us for the next little bit.
So I just want to say we have 108 viewing between the Raven's Nest and Cow Lasers.
Oh,
I don't know how many are on AGK.
You've made it. We had a peak of 84.
All right, then I think we're giving away a bronze coin.
So what's
I have a few.
Okay, so all we needed was 150. So yep, Mike, go ahead. You
made the number.
You've got to comment in one of the 3 chats in order to be in the random drawing for the bronze coin. So I want to make that clear. Just viewing doesn't do it, because we don't know who you are if you view. So you have to make a comment in the chat. And somehow, some way, I will devise a way next Monday that we will pick one person to get that coin.
So I have a bingo set, but the bingo set only goes up to like 90.
We might be at 200 before this thing's over.
Yeah, what up? Woohoo!
The other thing is, a lot of people are like, why just the 4 search states? Somebody said 50 coins, 50 states. Somebody said, what about California? We're going to try it with these 50 for the 4 states, and we'll see how it goes. If you guys really like the idea, I would say email Forrest and let him know, and maybe we could do something else after these 50.
Mike, was that a legitimate question?
Yeah, no, look, it says right here, 50 coins, 50 states. Somebody else said, put one in Utah. Everybody wants one close to where they live.
Mike and I have been debating this for a while since the 50 coins came out, and he had something similar. So I thought you made that up. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I get input from the people on my channel, one of the things that we considered in terms of our trip was that instead of going north and south, that we would start on I-50 and go west to east and try to cover as many locations so that you have, a smaller distance to go to. We only have the 10, but we'll take input from our viewers. And if you think you'd rather see a east to west thread of coins, let us know, and we're going to take the trip. We're one way or the other. We're going to take the trip.
Well, and somebody asked, what about the coin numbers? Are we going to, this is how I envision it. Mike and I disagree. So please weigh in, because one of us will win, and it's usually him. So it irritates me. So I think we should say number 50's out. It's in Colorado. And then a couple days later, it's here. It's here. And Mike disagrees. So you all, maybe I'll do a poll on Thor.
I think, yeah, there you go.
Let the people decide.
You got a little Thor intro you could play there, Toby?
I do have Thor intro. You
Let's
ready?
check it out.
I have not seen. Okay.
Here we go.
Worldwide debut. Check it out.
Thor intro.
Oh boy.
But I think it should be totally random, and you should not know what sequence number you are going for. That's my personal opinion. You'll find out when you find it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to play that again because you just talked all the way. All right. So here goes the Thor intro. No talking.
I see.
All right. Here we go. Nice. Okay, now you can talk again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that'll come up in just a second.
I'll have to go back and watch it later.
Yeah.
So-
And what I noticed is there's a
It's
big
nice.
delay between the two channels, which is interesting. But
Yeah.
that's fine. Everybody will.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a command center, so I don't.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Other questions I'm trying to think were, so basically everybody, what we're doing is a treasure hunt separate from Forrest Fenn's treasure hunt. You know, not everybody can
Along
find
with
Forrest Fenn's treasure like any of us. So how about if we put something out there that might be a little bit easier? And it's not just one of them, there's 47 of them. So I don't know how anybody can not think, and even if you don't want to go look for them, I don't know how anybody can't think it's a good idea. What do you guys think?
I think it's great. I think it's a great idea. I'm ready to go boots on the ground next week and get my silver coin.
And I'll say this, even though it doesn't need to be said, Toby, Christy, myself, and you said Cynthia's going to help. We are excluded from finding the
Right.
coins because we're going to know where they're at.
Right.
So we will not be out there looking. Even if it's a coin that Toby hid and I don't know where it is, I'm ineligible to find any of the coins.
Right. We're all part of the project, so
Right.
it makes us ineligible.
Yeah. Well, and Eric already showed two can keep a secret, and one of them doesn't have to be dead. We're gonna be. It's gonna just be fun. It's gonna be great. And again, here's a little teaser for a couple months from now. Coin number 2 has something really exciting planned for it. So we will talk about that later. Maybe an event that kicks off the whole season. I don't know. We're working on that right now. That's that. Are there other questions? Where are we at with questions?
I think we're okay. There's some comments, but I think the more you talk, you've cleared up the comments. So I don't see any. If, like I said, guys, if we're trying to look at all 4 chat rooms here, so if you do have a question about anything that Christy has said about this coin distribution project, send a text message to 800-947-1043, and I'll make sure the question gets asked and answered before the end of the show. All right?
I did have somebody ask, how are people going to find it randomly? I'm going to talk to Forrest about how he hid the treasure chest and ask him that question to make sure that we're hoping that I don't want it as conspicuous or I don't know yet. We do want it conspicuous. We want it found in a week. So we do want it, but we don't want it found before a searcher. We want searchers to find this.
Right.
So I mean, we're going to work that out. And this is why 6 months. If you have ideas, I mean, I totally take every idea. The only person I say that's wrong is sometimes Mike, and we disagree. Everybody else, we totally agree. I mean, I want to hear everybody's ideas.
Okay.
I'd like to do at least one for another Kyle Laser's Grand Adventure, which means the clues would be like ciphers or codes, not just pictures. An actual puzzle that people have to solve to get the location. But that's just my idea.
Do you see these great ideas? See, I didn't even know this. These are great ideas that we need to hear. So, I mean, Sean, go ahead.
One thing I'm thinking, Christy, is any solutions that have been made public that individuals have gone all the way to the blaze and found no treasure. I think that would be a good location to have a coin, being that someone else may come up with the same solution and travel to that location expecting to find the chest. Most of us, we look around, we look as hard as we can. We don't find anything except for the treasure of being there. In this case, they would find a Forrest Fenn searcher coin and know that, hey, a searcher had been there.
Well, and Formula 977 asks, can we suggest a location? Yes, I can tell you, I talk about my love solve all the time. There's going to be one at the love solve because here's the thing. It's still a mile by mile area. You're not going to get it without some additional clues. So we're putting one at my love solve. So
we're pretty confident that we're going to place some of these coins in areas in the 4 treasure states that are considered popular search areas. That makes the most sense. I don't think that gives anyone any particular benefit in terms of actually locating it, but you know, for me, it just makes sense to go back to these places where other people have considered the possibility that the Fenn treasure has been hidden and put it in the same location. So
hide one in room 4 at the Dude. Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, wow.
These are the kind of ideas that we totally
Maybe
need.
Forrest has some ideas of where he would like some hidden.
Yeah.
Somewhere when he was a child, nothing to do with the treasure chest, but maybe
Right.
there's some areas in Yellowstone.
yeah,
He'd like one to be.
Forrest, if you were going to hide a treasure, give us an idea of where you would hide it.
Yeah, where would you hide a treasure for?
Yeah.
And Christy doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to convince her
What
that
state?
maybe 1 or 2 of the silver coins might have a bronze one that goes with it when we hide them.
So Aaron
You
asks
get
how
2.
much. That's a good one. I like that. Aaron asks how much are they worth. Aaron, face value or the numismatic value is very low, but they get very valuable once you put them on eBay. So if you don't care to keep it, put it on eBay, and you'll probably get back at least what your travel investment was.
They're worth whatever somebody will pay for them.
Right,
That's
exactly.
Whatever the
Much
market
like
will
any
bear.
How much did people offer you today, Christy?
I was offered $15,000.
15,000. That's how much they're
For
worth.
one?
That's how much they're worth, Aaron.
And how much nicer will it be to actually find one? You solved the clues and you found it. I think it'll be worth a lot more to you.
Absolutely.
Or let me be totally crazy too. What if you found that one and you have some sort of major wedding coming up or situation coming up and you're like, I need this so badly, and you go and buy a house with it? I mean, think about that. You put it on eBay and you get a $15,000 bid. I'm not saying that you wouldn't keep it instead of, I would keep it, but or you get 10 more boots on the grounds, or I don't know. So I mean, there's the opportunities are endless, and that is up to you to figure out.
I have my 369 bronze coin, bronze coin, and I'm keeping, or copper
I've
coin.
got 777, and I'll never give that one up.
So
like that
I
one.
just wanted to say hi. I've got, for some reason tonight, I've got a bunch of Canadians in the room. So that's a first
I
for
have
us.
some as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we haven't had Canadians in the room before this.
So somebody asked, how long is this contest going to go for? And I think the answer is until they're found. It's up to you guys to get out there and find them, right?
Sure.
Yeah, the initial thought is, and again, it can change because we need to hear from you. The initial thought is we start the season in, let's say, April, May, and we announce every week. And whether the one is found or not, we just keep going. And maybe there's a spreadsheet on Thor that keeps them all of here's the clues and here's the links to each of the YouTube.
Let people do that themselves.
I like to help
a link
people.
is good. A link to the
A
clues
link
is good.
Yeah, it's not all the So then they're all. But I mean, we only have 26 weeks in the year, so I will just say maybe there's some other things that'll be planned because I mean we need a really strong search season, and because this is going to be the year.
And the clues will continue to narrow that area. So if there's a coin that's been out for months and we know it doesn't seem like anybody's finding it, we will give out additional clues until it's found. We do want them found.
Yeah, the goal is all of them will be when one's announced, I think within 2 weeks, it needs to be found. I mean, when we're in search season and these are popular search locations, every 2 weeks we get these found and you get them all. I mean, I'm hoping within the week so then people don't get confused about which one. So we put them out, people race out. Maybe that's when somebody that was going to go like Sean, you're scheduling a boots on the ground. You go, oh, that's my location. I'm going today because I'm going to get the chest and this coin. And
yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, it's just, this is what I talk about with fun. When we talk about the off season, and I don't want to transition until we're done with all the questions, the search season usually is awful and people get negative and people quit and let's start talking about this. Let's get ideas and let's get things that we haven't thought of. And, that's for this next search season. I did have one person ask me, and I will commit to, if the treasure chest is found in the next week or two, will you still put the coins out? Yeah,
of course.
I'll still put the coins out. And will still put I don't know if all the we's will, but we will make sure that the coins still get out there. And maybe that's what's next. Maybe Toby's a topic for this week that's a little part of it is these are going to go out. I've already purchased them. They're already all bought. I don't think you can see them all, but there's stacks of them. I mean, they're here. So
50
not
silver 2019 searcher coins.
Yeah.
And my thought is, I hope that as people go look for these coins, they make videos, they send them to us of boots on the ground searches, and the people that actually find the coins come on the YouTube panels, explain how you put the clues together, explain how you found the coin. It'd be pretty fun.
Yeah. Okay, other last minute questions? What do we think about, do we like the idea? I know, what do we think, chat room? Are we happy? Do we like this idea? Is this fun?
It's 80-20 as usual. Like every 80% they're like, okay, I can go with this. I need more info.
So we want to know when the start date is. We don't have a date yet, but it will definitely be published ahead of time when the first clues are going to come out.
When it's safe. I mean, that's going to be the big one. And we haven't, again, I wanted to make sure not to have every single thing determined because we want to hear from you all. So these are just fun.
Will you maintain GPS coordinates of the locations of each coin?
Well, we have to buy 47 webcams first. And then once we get that set up.
Yeah, we plan. So our plan is, as we distribute them, to collect what my friend Sean would call photographic evidence, so that we can use to support where we hide them. We will document the GPS coordinates for each one of the locations, and we use these plastic food containers. We put them in there, and there will always be instructions about what to do to let us know what's the number, so that we can be assured that it has actually been found. So we've done this before, and it's worked out very nicely for us. And we think, you know, like I said, Jack went into an area twice that is way out of the way from any search area, and drove down a mountainside that his wife said she was scared that they were going to die, crossed a river, and then took a half-hour hike and looked around for 3 hours to find this thing. So he was just as excited when I saw him as I was that he found that coin. I thought it was just amazing.
Well, and I've seen a couple questions. What if no one reports one found? My idea was, if they're not reported found by the end of the season, between, I think, the team, because Cynthia can't stop herself from going boots on the ground, to check in to see if they're already they're there or they're gone. If they aren't gone, then we come up with some strategy. Maybe they become, maybe they go back to where we don't know. But that's a great question. Those are the types of things we need to think through. Do we leave them there for the next search season? Do we take them and then they become a prize for something else? They say 2019, or do we put out a ton more clues to say, this is still out there, here's where I am?
I think so.
That'll keep it going. That'll keep it going. Very good.
And people can go, hey, I went there, it's not there anymore. And maybe we say, you were right or you were wrong. Yeah. But William Ortiz had a question. He said, if a non-searcher finds it, maybe we should have a contact info so that they can they understand what it's all about.
Right. And that's what we did. That's how we actually found about our Texas treasure. It was found by a family that wasn't looking for treasure, but they contacted us, and when we accidentally found your treasure, it was $100 dollar coins. So let me hang on just a sec. Mary G, you don't have to comment in all four. Mary Green, you only have to comment in one of the four to qualify for the drawing.
Yes.
And I've seen several people say, I never comment, but here's my comment.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you for commenting. This is what it's about.
Yeah.
So, but some people are saying, is there legal liability? This is called geocaching. There's millions of people that do it all over the world. This isn't brand new, we're going to make sure that they're in safe locations at safe times. Yeah. And, but also, if a searcher cannot physically get there, don't do it. This is just like the treasure chest. I mean, I believe the same notion. If an 80-year-old man cannot get to that location, we're not going to put any underwater. We're not. Right. I mean, it's kind of the same 5,000 to those sorts of things. So I don't think there's legal liability because if you go to Yellowstone and you fall, or I went to the Grand Canyon and hiked and someone died there, they didn't get to sue the Grand Canyon. So
It's about personal responsibility. You're responsible for your own actions. It's that simple.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it could be fun, but also keep it light. It's a coin. If you think to yourself, safety wise, am I able to do this or not? I better go for it because it's a coin I could sell for $100. It's $100 or a couple that, whatever it is. Don't put yourself in harm's way. It's just not, it's absolutely not worth it.
I can assure you that we will not go any place that an 80-year-old man couldn't go.
Yeah.
Because I'm like 69 going on 80, so.
Well, and there was probably about 10 or 15 people that put out ideas, and they're like, no, never mind, I'll email you. Yeah, this is going to be available. I'm sorry about that. But that doesn't mean we won't. We'll still be clever about it. I mean, so, but I would like to, I'd like to hear as many ideas as y'all have. So this is, again, this is where when Forrest says, this is not about him anymore. This is about the community. This is where I think the community needs to have some fun. And I only see as fun. So I'm hoping all of you have some fun with it and have some great stories, and watch Toby light up like he did at the Jamie drawing where he was like, oh, that's the one that found it. So that would be so cool to have happen.
Maybe we could do something. Maybe we could do something extra for the person who finds the first one. We'll have to talk about that offline. An additional prize of some kind.
We have enough YouTube channels that anybody who finds one, contact us, and we will get you on one of our YouTube channels at one of our events somehow.
Yeah,
and I really like Mike's idea of videoing your journey, the coin, or your area that you found it. Documenting that in video, and we can incorporate that if you locate.
Yeah,
and
but
I'm sure we'll put everything up on Hint of Riches as well.
Of course. I mean, of course. But I mean, it could go everywhere. I mean, Harry's is out everywhere. There. I'm still getting used to Facebook, but Sean, you and Mike seem to know that lickety split. Well, and Kobe, you're on Kicker or Kickstarter, whatever all those other ones are. So we can get
Kicker,
not Kickstarter,
Twitch, Periscope,
Twitch.
Not Tinder,
not Tinder. After my last experience, I'm just not there anymore. Rodney Greenway says, is there any intention of burying them, or will they be above ground only but hidden well? Rodney, that's our plan. That's what we've done with all of the coins that all the treasures we've hidden thus far. We don't bury them, but we do hide them well. You're going to have to move at least rocks mostly. I mean, that's what it boils down to. We're not going to make this any more difficult. So the strategy is to have all 47 of the coins that are going to be hidden by next spring, and hopefully have them found by the end of summer. So we're not going to make this a death-defying act of a treasure hunt. We're going to make it straightforward, fun, and give you the opportunity to find them, because we would like to see all 47 of them found by the end of next search season.
Yeah, because they have 2019 on them, and then if this goes really well and everybody are all excited, there's tons of ideas for 2020.
We can expand. We can do a lot of things.
Yeah,
we'll take all ideas. Everybody email your ideas to me, Christy, Toby, but we will decide what ideas we use and which we don't. So, but email the ideas. So we'll read all of them.
To be clear, love you, Forrest. You're getting number one. That was special that you gave up your last number one. So number one's going to you. Number two is going for a huge announcement later. And then number three is going to Rick. So those are the ones off the table, but 4 through 50. Now, I don't know, Mike, I know that you provided a forum to be able to swap numbers, because I know a lot of people, if you have number 10 and that's special to you, you might want the 10 matching one. So is there a way you could trade or whatever? I don't know. I mean, that's something that we'll want to get out all the details to everybody. But the coins are back. It's exciting.
And I could probably repurpose www.cowlasers.com for this contest.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. I haven't been doing anything with it recently, so actually I might do that. But we'll put the word out. Once we get everything finalized, everybody will know, trust me.
So somebody just asked why I have to put my head back, why I put my head back. It's because I wear trifocals, and in order to see some of these things, I have to change my trifocals, okay? I'm not passing out on you guys.
So I have a question for the panel. K-Pro, would you bury one of the coins in this geocaching hunt?
In my opinion, and we're going to talk with everybody, I think burying is out. In my opinion, I don't want any legal issues. I don't think burying, especially with the rains and mudslides and stuff. I would like it to be but I love the idea. I love the idea of a skull, but I think that's a little bit too big. I like the idea of something small and putting some rocks or something over it so the average person can't stumble upon it, but you move a couple rocks or you move a little log over.
And there it is.
That's the thought. But
if you go back to 2017, there's a short video that Shelly and I did of her hiding our little container, showing the coins that was in it. And then the guys that found it actually made a video and sent it to us. So we put them together, and there's a video out there of what we did. And basically, it was hidden in the crook of a tree, and then we just covered it up with a rock.
Yeah, something like that. And Mike has been a part of so many different treasure hunts. I've been a part of 3 or 4. There's so many different ways to do it that, I mean, it'll be fun. There'll be different ways we can do it. But my initial thought, and again, we can talk about it if anybody has a compelling reason to bury it. Burying it seems like a whole bunch of trouble to me.
If it's buried, how do you find it? I mean, how do you pinpoint where it is if it's buried? We don't want to put 47 pieces out there, okay, everybody?
I have the same question for you, Mike. Would you ever consider burying a coin in this geocaching treasure?
I would not. There are geocaching containers that we can get, but I wouldn't bury them.
Toby?
No, our intent is to hide them, not to bury them. But I do have a message from Shelly Carney Productions asking, is Sean going to get to talk this evening?
Well, and where I was going with that, if neither one of us had all of these coins, would and we're doing this treasure hunt for the Forrest Fenn, fan base, would Forrest bury the chest either? I mean, you have 4 of us here, and none of us would bury a coin or a treasure. That leads me to believe, just based on this panel right here, that it's probably not buried.
Once a detective, always a detective.
No,
just bringing my thought process back to the treasure chest. So
I agree with you. Hidden in some way, but not buried.
Once he's right, he's always right. Yeah.
And one of the ways could be one of the ways that comes up, or that people talk about or suggest in regards to the coins that'll be going out before next spring. So something to keep in mind when you're out there, boots on the ground, looking for the chest.
Yeah, well, and I will say I started putting together a hunt with someone else. It's a lot harder than you think, and that's why we need some time. And I know Mike's put them together with ciphers and all that stuff and codes.
That's what I want to do for at least 1 or 2.
Sure.
Yeah, so we have so the site. So if Mike says, "Oh, I'm the one that hid this one," there's a cipher, there's a code in there. But that's going to be the fun part of different people. Different thoughts. I mean, if one of them's found in an hour, fabulous. That's what it's there for.
Right.
If one of them's found in 2 weeks, but again, the idea is they're all the different. Just everybody eclectically. We all want to bring in all the different thoughts. One's a little bit more of a code and cipher that some people will be compelled to go to. Some of them will be more GPS coordinates and that kind of thing. I mean, maybe they're ones that are
south,
maybe we could put a pin on that map.
That's what I was just going to say. Where they're found. When they're found, we'll mark it. I can do that. Just like my other map. That's right.
So again, when we say like huge announcement for the off season and having some fun, not the treasure chest is found or there's a serious clue coming out. I mean, we figured out after 8 years, Forrest isn't going to give us anything major. Let's take this on ourselves and have some fun with it as a community. And so YouTubers, if you want to get together, and by spring, if you want to be somebody that kind of helps with this, I mean, fabulous. Just let's all start coming together and figuring this out. And again, these can be worth a lot. These can just be fun. You're going boots on the ground already. They're already purchased, so they're here. It's happening. You guys just need to help. So help figure out all the.
Anybody who didn't get the bronze coin, you have a chance to get the silver coin.
Exactly.
No. And being here tonight and just commenting, you have a chance because.
That's right.
And again, those of you that are new here because I've never gotten anywhere near the 200 and some odd people. I worked these out of Mike before I really knew him. I got all of these, and we are going to commit. So some people have asked me about the other contests we did. We have decided every Monday we're only going to give away 1 coin, even if we do multiple contests. The other contest that's going on right now is if you have a great video that you want to send me to kpro3@aol.com. Of your boots on the ground experience, one of these Mike and I are gonna pick the best one that we feel, and somebody gets a coin.
Nice,
so
very smart.
We have a handful right now, but I didn't do updates. I had some things going on. So anytime this week, if you want to send me one, send me your best boots on the ground. Mike and I will hash it out, and you might get another coin. But one of these are going into the hands of searchers. We're going to try to do one every week, and so the 150 is going to be the one that we're going to be giving out. So, but we'll come up if you're a part of Thor, they're silly as like we did a knock joke, which was silly yet fun. We did stupidest thing you've done, boots on the ground, which I probably would never do again. William Ortiz, I know you're in the room. And there's I think won that one, but there's lots of different ideas. We take ideas. So we just want to have a fun, and we want to do one every search season. So if you didn't get one of the coppers, suggest some ideas, and they're just fun ones that everybody can be a part of. So
anyone that owns one of the copper coins under sequence number 50 or under, contact me, because I would like to buy it, and I want to hide it with the silver corresponding number. So at least there'll be one matching set out there somewhere.
Oh.
So if anybody's willing to sell number 50 or lower, let me know and we'll work it out.
Just one of them.
Just one, yeah. I think I won't be able to afford to buy more than one. So just one. We're only going to do that for one, if I can get the coin from whoever owns them at this point.
So let me start the bidding. If you find next season one of these silver coins, let me know, and I'll give you $300 for it, number unseen. How's that?
Nice. All right.
I don't have the 15,000. I mean, who gives 15,000?
Yeah,
Wait, actually, I think I know who would give 15,000.
Actually, so the Jamie drawing, when 1, 2, 3 went up, I got offered, can you take it out of the Jamie drawing and give me 15,000? Just say you lost it.
Just say you lost it.
Or say whatever, but take it out. And I mean, it wasn't even a question, but I did think, wow, and that's why I went to Forrest and said, let's get more out, because when you have something like that happen, and the average redneck that he wants the treasure chest out aren't even getting these. So let's get them out there and have fun. So extra special thanks to Forrest for trusting me enough to say, great. As long as you make sure, so ground rules, you're not making a profit yourself. And I didn't, I only have, my credit card has only been hit for the cost of these coins, that you make sure that it's an opportunity for everybody and that we have fun with it. So those were his ground rules, but the big thing was the profit. It just doesn't go straight on eBay to the highest bidder. And then I did ask about partnerships of AGK and Cynthia, good trusting people. We're going to get them out. Mike's going to do all those other details that he did at the Jamie drawing. That will take 1,000 hours. And,
So Christy, I like that shirt. Is that a Cow Lazar shirt you're wearing?
No, this is a
Coin Lazar shirt.
Yes.
And the reason is this silver coin idea was Christy's, so everybody needs to thank her. And I passed the mantle on to her because she is now the new Coin Lazar.
Coin Lazar.
I don't know about that, but I did steal the shirt. And then
Bravo.
Yeah, but no, I think it'll just be fun, and these are the kind of ideas that I think Forrest is up for. So, but I do think it takes building relationships and all of that. So, and I want to thank Mike. I remember I said, I talked to Forrest this and that, and he was like, oh, okay, I did the first coin. Let's talk a little bit, and so we did. And I talked to Rick today, and he designed the piece, and so but I think once those three, but especially everybody else I talked to, everybody's just excited. So this will be fun. We'll see.
And what was Forrest's original motivation? To get people out of the house and off the computer and boots on the ground. So they're out there. We've just designed 47, or we're going to design 47 different treasure hunts. And who doesn't love a treasure hunt? I mean, we're all searchers, right?
So Sean Martinez, are you in AGK's room, or did you just comment in your room?
I'm in all three.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so I do have to remind you guys.
Yeah, I'm in Calazar's too.
All right. I do have to remind you guys it's 7:52. We plan for an 8 o'clock end time. So we each have 2 minutes to talk about what we're going to do over the search season.
We were supposed to go a half an hour. And
if we don't let Sean go first, Shelly is going to punch me tomorrow.
We should have known that this topic would have taken an hour.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, so Sean first, and Sean talk a long time.
Really? No, I don't do that.
Tell us your secret. Tell us your secret.
My plans for the off season, for me, it's going to be, of course, investigation as well as recon, as often as possible. Be boots on the ground up north in New Mexico. There are oftentimes seasons during the winter where it's very dry. It is very, very cold. We've had, negative below zero temperatures in New Mexico on certain times. However, on the days that it is winter and cold, but not snowy and locations impassable, I will be boots on the ground. Whether it's just surveying, or actually going to a blaze location in one of my search areas, that's my plan. I feel confident doing that primarily because I have lived here my entire life. I do know the lay of the land. I do know what the mountains are like, what the lowlands and the deserts are like during that time of year, and am very well prepared. So that's my plan going forward. My next boots on the ground that is coming up, I have been discussing with my brother the possibility of utilizing horses as we just search the areas. It'll make it a lot faster in and out and off to another location. So that should be fun, interesting. Considering it is hunting season in New Mexico, this is the time of year from now all the way through December that we've generally been out there anyway in the mountains, hunting and things. So that's my plans so far. Of course, I do know in New Mexico, come January through about March, sometimes mid-April, that's when it's very difficult to get to any of the areas.
And you may get a surprise snow.
Absolutely. Very, very quickly. I've been high in the mountains in the winter when the snow was coming down as pellets opposed to snowflakes. And it's very interesting being in the midst of that. However, being well prepared and ready for that is always good. But it's fun. Yeah, you get to be in a situation. I was boots on the ground a few weeks ago, and a thunderstorm hit. And it was great because what does Forrest say? You can't hide from a thunderstorm. That's one of the things that he learned, and he was absolutely right. I had my poncho, which also converts into a tent. And so I just found a nice location and enjoyed a thunderstorm on top of a mountain, which the thunder and lightning was pretty interesting in that position. But,
before you sign off, I have a question for you from Sakar. Gosh, it went by really quickly. It says, Sean, with your background, what are the chances that Fenn is misleading us in some way?
I would say that depends on what specifically you're talking about. If you're talking about the treasure chest itself, I would say no. I would say that is true and correct. It is hidden. He did do that. Same as the stories in the book. However, I do believe, just based on my experience with all sorts of people and my investigation of Fenn, who I love and I enjoy, and I love looking into him and studying him, there may be some things that he's either said or done or written that could be somewhat misleading to any individual, depending on your perspective.
Okay.
That was such a politically correct answer. 100%. 100%. I mean, look how many misspellings there are in that darn book.
He could be watching.
Absolutely.
I said it right to his face. He says stuff to me back, and we have that kind of fun relationship. He's now 100% Forrest Fenn. Forrest Fenn, 100% misleading in some way. 100.
I always anticipate that Forrest is here, whether it's live or whether he's in the chat. Either way,
Forrest is omnipotent.
So, Toby, what's your off-season plan? I think that's something we might be talking about this week.
We are definitely going to be talking about it in the show, because I think what we have to deal with over the next long research season is, what are we going to do? We've talked about what we do if we found the treasure. We want to talk about what are we going to do if the treasure is found, but it's not us, because I think it has had an impact on all of us in many ways, mentally, physically, spiritually. And so we're going to need something to replace that. And so Shelley and I wondered, what could that be? But over the winter months, we're going to do two things. Number one, Shelley and I have been recently having conversations about Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey. And a lot of the things that Fenn writes in his memoir, including the poem, fit very nicely. And so we're going to start doing an analysis of the poem in the context of Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey. So that's where our research is leading us. And as always, we share our research on our YouTube channel. But just to give you an idea, Campbell says that in mythology, whenever the hero ends up in water, he is really exploring his unconscious, not his subconscious, but his unconscious. And if you think about it, water is a big part of this poem. So we want to explore things like that and develop them and see if they give us any additional insight to the possibility of deciphering the poem. And then the second thing that we're going to do is we're going to keep exploring all of this technology that we're becoming progressively more familiar with, so that we can improve, what we're doing on YouTube. I mean, what we're doing tonight is really kind of the result of our exploration into the possibilities with technology. And so we're really excited about it. And what's nice about it is the platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Periscope/Twitter, they're all helping to evolve this kind of communication as well. And we have an announcement that we're going to make on Wednesday dealing with the technology. We have an announcement that we're going to make the following Wednesday dealing with the technology. So we're just going to continue to improve the distribution of all of this information, because we are of the sense that the more information that the more people have to work with, the likelier it is we're going to get to a solution. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Awesome. Mike.
My advice to searchers in the off season is to take a break. There are a lot of people that get obsessed over this thing. I've seen a lot of emails for the last year and a half where they know where warm waters halt. They know they're right, and they've been there many, many times. Just take a break, and maybe you'll look at it a different way. There are other treasure hunts out there. Now you're going to have another 47. So just take a break, do something else. I'm not saying abandon it. Go back to it, but take a break in the off season. It's good for you.
Okay, I'm going a different direction than Mike, but that's why I like Mike. He kind of helps ground me. Yeah. So I always go back to I won't say all my saws. Everybody says I jump around. I've been in it 3 years, and I have 3 solid saws. I like to go back to my way of thinking more than the particular location and why I gave it up. And then look for new info. I will say that I have been working on a particular set of information and data that I want to share with the community, if I can get my hands on it. And Sean, I will be so interested in what you think, but I am close. I think
I'm already interested. Just saying that, I'm already very.
It will be, Sean. Trust me.
It will be huge, and I will want to get it out. And I think it might make this a foot race by next year if it all comes through. But I still need another. It's a long process when you have certain red tapes and things involved, and so it's been a year in the making. So it's a couple months out, but I'm anticipating any moment. But I don't think that'll happen till the end of the year. But that will be a great. I mean, I'm hoping Santa Claus comes and delivers a few things to me. That would be awesome. And then, of course, Feb 4. I mean, we're still in the off season, Feb 4, and I love Feb 4. I mean, that is for those of you that are new, Feb 4 is where he comes out with some miraculous words that get us all excited, and then doesn't mean much by the end of the year, but still I fall for it every time. And then the one thing that I will say that I am focusing on is, what are we all missing? I don't think it's in the poem. I think it's something in particularly different. I actually think I've stumbled upon it. And if I stumble upon it, I'll give myself a week. I will give a couple of people that I'm very close with, that I share solves with, another week. And then it goes out to the entire community. And that's just the way it's going to be. I know some of my confidants believe that I'm insane for doing that, and I don't care. And then I'm going to ignore any of the issues and problems and people that are negative that this time of year brings. And we're going to bring joy and happiness to everyone on earth. And I saw Odious Soul is in the room, and that's who I channel to make sure that I stay positive every single day. I love her, and I channel her. And Shelly Carney's also in that group. So that's my other thing I'm going to do, is just channel the good peeps. And I hate to say, I own one of the forums. The forums are already starting to go negative. I've already had to get involved more this week than I've wanted to. And so I'm going to ignore the forum. I own a forum. I'm going to ignore the forum. So I'm going to go in and go, boop, deleted, boop. And
what's the name of that forum, Christy? Get ready, Toby. What's the name of that forum, Christy?
Thor.
Oh, are we ready?
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, hold on. I will
There we
just say though.
No. This is just your say Thor again. This is what we're going to do now.
Thor.
There you go.
Okay, I can't tell what the Ravens nest. So
The Raven's Nest.
I will say I probably won't be. I usually am pretty open and let people vent for a while, and then it always goes down a path. It's my new saying, and everybody likes it. Bye bye sugar pie, and it's called ban. So I'm just not up for the personal and all of that. And this is the time of season, so let's stay like focused on the good. And we got a lot of stuff to do. And Sean, I'm going to stay away from you for just a little bit longer, but I actually want to just pick your brain with this stuff. And you're not allowed to talk to Mike. You're not allowed to talk to Mike at all.
Wait a minute now.
He knows what it is. So
it all has to be live on YouTube.
Hey, we can have a sit-down conversation. I'm good with that.
But remember, everybody. Oh, I like that one. Just remember, everybody, the only way you're going to get this information is if you subscribe to the Raven's Nest, if you subscribe to A Gypsy's Kiss, if you subscribe to Cow Lasers, and if you subscribe to Sean Martinez's channel. That's the only way the information's coming out. So make sure you like these videos and especially share this one so other people know about the coin idea.
Sean, what's the name of your channel again? Figuring
out Forrest.
Yes. And that I think is perfect because even though Forrest, you might still be listening or not, I think we've got to steal this from him. And there's some of us that have been trying to figure out a way. It's just taken so long. And I feel this next year is it because we're going to put some info out, some new research, new data, and it's going to break it loose.
We'll see. Stay
tuned. I like
that. Looking forward to it.
Okay, so any other let's see, let me channel my inner Toby. Would everyone like to say where we can find them? And the rest of the week I think we'll see everybody, but first over to Sean. Where can we find you? And we want to say goodnight.
You can find me in New Mexico first and foremost, so I'll put that out there. In addition, you can find me at Figuring Out Forrest on YouTube, at Gmail, and on Facebook.
Excellent. And Mike?
Cow Lasers on YouTube. And for the coin, the silver coin that I designed a Grand Adventure for, the place you'll find the info first is Cow Lazar's Grand Adventure on Facebook.
Oh, and my site always...
There we go. They'll be posted everywhere, but it'll be in the Grand Adventure first on Facebook. So join if you're not already a member.
And I don't let him away from the Raven's Nest. He's actually the Raven's Nest in the chat rooms right now. So he's my sidekick. He's my partner in crime here. Okay, and to Toby.
I'm Toby Younis with gypsyskiss.tv. You can see us tomorrow at 1 o'clock, where the topic will be what we're all going to do when the treasure is found, and it's not us. We'll cover the same thing on our panel on Tuesday, and then I'm sorry, Wednesday, and then following our show on A Gypsy's Kiss on Tuesday at 2:30, Shelley and I have a show on her channel, The Softer Side.
Excellent. And I will say that Mike put together a fabulous, we got a song. We now have a song and we now have a whole
saw that. Love it.
And so we're going to end with that because I've got nothing but love because everybody's loving it. So we're actually going to end with that. It's a little long, so if you don't want to, but that's the way that we're going to end each evening because it's fun that the guy that did it, somebody asked me if that was Mike singing. I don't think so.
No. No.
But this is what I mean by fun. Mike surprised me with this, and I love it. You're awesome, Mike, and thank you. So we will end with that. Toby, can you transition us?
Oh, that's not how you say that. You say, Toby, cue the outro.
Toby, cue the outro from A Raven's Nest where ever marks the spot.
Pow, wow. K-Pro Cow, pow, wow, wow. It's the K-Pro Cow, pow, wow, wow. They want to find the treasure, they want to find it now. They are K-Pro and they are cow. They're going over it and over it and over it again. This treasure hunt created by Forrest Fenn. Sing it! K-Pro Cow, pow, wow. Christy and Mike. Can they pin down the treasure? They just might.